Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken in these chambers that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. 6 candidates will vie for 2 open seats in the race for Edina City Council. The 2 at-large seats currently belong to Joni Bennett and Scott Hausch. Hausch, who is nearing the end of his 2nd term, is not seeking re-election. Bennett has filed for office along with 5 others: Daniel Azar, Steve Brown, Todd Fronek, Timothy Kerr, and Josh Sprague. The municipal election will be held on November 2nd in conjunction with the state general election. The top 2 vote-getters will begin their 4-year terms in January. The League of Women Voters of Edina will hold a candidate forum at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, September 28th at Edina City Hall. The forum will be televised here on Edina 16. The general election might be more than a month away, but election officials have been preparing for several months. Reporters Stephanie Lineski and Scott Denfeld have a behind-the-scenes story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On November 2nd, voters around the nation will cast their votes and elect the leaders of their city, state, and country. But for some, the voting process starts long before candidates' ads appear on our televisions. Deb Mangan, Edina's city clerk, begins preparing for the elections months before Election Day.
We have to be trained in order to be election administrators.
She then trains the election judges who will work at every polling place in the city of Edina.
We train starting in July. We've trained around 230 people. We'll train another 200 people in October.
Well, I would say that we really do get very good training as election judges.
Donna Tilsner has been a valuable part of the election process in Edina for many years and has seen the value of the training process.
There is a lot of planning that has to go into it, from securing the sites to getting the equipment out, getting the right amount of ballots to us, and trying to ensure that we as election judges really know what we're supposed to be doing so we can really run a fair and equitable day at the polls.
You're welcome, thank you.
Finally, all of the preparation and training culminates in a long day of hard work.
We ask that our judges work from 6 a.m. till the close of the poll, so it's a very long day for them.
Although most of the preparation for Election Day goes unseen by voters, the commitment of service by the election judges plays a vital role in the democratic process of Edina and the United States.
It's kind of awesome if you think about, on a general election, all 50 states, within 24 hours' time, elect their leaders.
With Stephanie Lineski, I'm Scott Denfeld, Edina 16.
Nice to see you come back.
Absentee ballots for the general election are available September 17th. Only those people who will be away from home, are ill or disabled, will be working as an election judge in another precinct, or unable to go to the polling place due to a religious holiday or beliefs are allowed to vote by absentee ballot. A Minnesota Supreme Court ruling has left Edina's Zoning Board of Appeals with very little to meet about in recent months. In late June, the court handed down a ruling that greatly restricts the city's ability to grant variances to property owners who face special circumstances. In the case, which involved a garage addition in Minnetonka, the court ruled that an applicant must show that the property in question cannot be put to a reasonable use without the variance. Prior to the ruling, applicants only had to show that they would like to use a property in a reasonable manner prohibited by the zoning ordinance. Unless the legislature acts to provide a more flexible standard, cities will not have the authority to grant variances unless a property cannot otherwise be put to a reasonable use. Edina planning officials say that if residents or business owners have questions about how the court decision may affect their plans, they should contact the planning department at 952-826-0369. A new restaurant picked up a spare last month when the City Council approved the project's final development plan. Pinstripes, an Illinois-based company that operates restaurants with bowling alleys and bocce ball courts, plans to open at Centennial Lakes later this year. The project was approved with several conditions, including a requirement that the restaurant obtain a loudspeaker permit from the city for outdoor amplification and that music levels be kept low enough so residents on the east side of Centennial Lake can't hear it. Pinstripes plans to open in November. Still to come, neighborhoods around the community come together for one night to prevent crime and celebrate. But first, new art on display for all to enjoy when we return.
Dumping yard waste in city parks and woodlands can damage and even kill trees and vegetation. Don't wait for Mother Nature to fight back. Keep Edina's open spaces clean and healthy by keeping trash and yard waste out.
Not all parks have a superhero on duty, so it's up to you to protect Edina's defenseless fences. Please don't throw or hit balls at park fences or backstops.
Welcome back to Agenda Edina. Thanks to donations, 2 pieces of art have found a permanent home on the Edina Promenade. Timepiece, a steel, aluminum, cedar, and rock sculpture by St. Paul's Dean Holzman, and Minnesota Echo Turtle, a painted steel sculpture by Kathy Gustafson of Bemidji, are the 2 latest additions to the promenade. Donations by Edina resident Dee Kennedy and members of Edina's Public Art Committee made purchasing the artwork possible.
Well, I think it allows everyone some pleasure going by in their walks, and some people actually come here to see some of the art now. It's been really another drawing feature besides the park here at Centennial Lakes.
The Public Art Committee hopes to eventually designate as many as half of the 10 Edina Promenade plazas for permanent sculpture, leaving the remaining plazas to display rotating pieces. To raise additional money for the arts, the Edina Art Center and the Fairview Auxiliary will host a Taste of Creativity fundraiser on November 4th. The first-time event will feature a silent auction, artists' demonstrations, gift sales, hors d'oeuvres, and live music. Proceeds from Taste of Creativity will benefit the Art Center, Fairview Auxiliary, and the Edina Public Art Committee. The Edina Art Center has long been involved in promoting arts in healthcare. Officials say art helps provide positive distractions and transformative healing experiences. The Taste of Creativity will be held at the Edina Art Center, located 1 mile west of Southdale Center in Roslyn Park at 4701 West 64th Street. Tickets for the fundraiser are on sale now at the Art Center and online at www.edinaartcenter.com. The city of Edina is taking another step in the green direction. Edina 16's Brian Smith has the story on how a new renewable energy source at City Hall could help educate the public on green technology.
The barren roof of the Edina City Hall might soon be flowing with energy. The city of Edina has applied for a federal grant to place flat solar panels on a portion of the roof, which would generate 2% of the building's energy each year.
We're not filling the whole roof up. We're only doing a section of it because this is a trial run. The city's really trying to provide some leadership on this issue of renewable energy, trying to provide some education to the public, and this is really a demonstration of a different kind of technology.
By going with a newer tube-shaped solar panel design that lays flat, it collects both direct and diffuse sunlight.
With the new modules that are tubular in design, and because they're thin film, reflected light actually works better with the thin film product. We don't have wide open spaces to put solar in, but we do have rooftops to put solar in.
These tube-shaped solar panels are so low to the rooftop that down below, you won't even know they're here. A monitoring system placed inside City Hall is a great teaching tool to show the public how renewable energy can cut costs.
And we can share data with schools in Edina so that kids can see how solar generates electricity, how much electricity it generates, and how that's helping to offset costs for our buildings.
Generating energy with solar or wind has a byproduct, and that is people start thinking about their use more. So I also think people will realize that, you know, how can City Hall start saving more with its electrical use or gas use or whatever.
Edina 16, I'm Brian Smith.
The city expects to learn whether it will receive the federal grants in the next few months. The Gulf of Mexico may be a long way from Edina, but that didn't stop one Edina police officer from lending a helping hand during the recent oil spill crisis. Officer Kevin Raffadal, Petty Officer First Class in the U.S. Coast Guard Reserve, was deployed early in the summer to assist with the cleanup. Raffadal, whose duties were carried out in a command center in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana, was part of relief efforts for more than a month.
It's a tragic event. There's no question about it. There isn't a person down there that was fighting the oil that didn't take a look at this and think, you know, this is just a terrible effect that it's got on the local wildlife and the state of Louisiana. I mean, they get hit pretty hard on this. So.
The Edina Police Department is a strong supporter of its employees' military efforts and has twice been recognized by the Employer Support for Guard and Reserve for its leadership among employers. It began in the 1980s as a way to raise awareness about crime prevention and is probably celebrated in your neighborhood park. Edina 16's Kaylin Martin has more.
If you want to play a game, come on over this way.
For the past 5 years, Lynn Cases has planned Night to Unite for her neighborhood.
I think just being able to see everybody here.
Despite the 95-degree heat, over 50 people made it out to Alden Park, where neighbors played games, relaxed, and enjoyed sweet treats.
There's been so many summers that it's one of the only nights that everybody seems to be at the park at the same time.
The national event was created to bring awareness to crime prevention and build neighborhood relationships.
Hi, what would you like?
Edina police officers took part in 30 parties held in the city August 3rd.
It's absolutely important that the residents see the human side of the police department, and being able to interact with the kids and stuff like that's also fun.
Bear and his canine partner Blade were joined by employees of Target, a national sponsor of the event.
They donate lots of different things to parties. It's kind of cool seeing the different kids that'll walk up to you and be like, hey, you know, we want this, we want this. So it's all about that enjoyment and that excitement.
It's clear the kids enjoyed Night to Unite as much as the adults.
So what's your favorite thing about the party tonight?
Eating ice cream.
Is it good?
With Steve Christensen, I'm Kaylin Martin, Edina 16.
The annual event is typically held the first Tuesday of August. An annual summer day camp in Edina continues to give area fourth graders a better understanding of just what it means to stay safe. Edina 16's Marty Dahl has the story.
Summer camp typically means hiking, canoeing, and campfires in the great outdoors. But for a group of about 100 of Edina's youth, this past August, camp took on a whole new meaning.
Safety camp rocks!
Safety camp started in the mid-90s. We're trying to do safety in a fun way for the kids, in an all-day setting.
Nice throw, that's a ringer. For nearly 20 summers, Edina's police, fire, and park and recreation departments have held the interactive safety camp for kids entering the fourth grade.
Yeah. Marty said it, the helmet.
It gives them just a quick snapshot of
safety things. I was at about 500 feet when I was circling around.
Camp kicked off as it does every year, with a very special visit from the Minnesota State Patrol.
And for me, this was a lifelong dream. From the time I was your age, I wanted to fly. It's one of the few things that actually takes attention away from a fire truck. So when the helicopter comes in.
Safety campers then learned about safety hands-on. Or hands-in, as was the case during this demonstration on life jackets and cold water.
All right, go put your life jackets back on. Good, see, their fingers aren't working as good as they did before.
Snowplows, gun safety, and even animals are just a handful of the topics covered at the day-long camp, leaving campers with some potentially life-saving words of wisdom.
Don't play with guns if you see one. If you see a fire, don't go near it.
You know, I think the kids generally know what those safety messages are, but it's just an opportunity for us to emphasize it to them.
The water's really cold.
Edina's public safety officials say education is their most important tool. Safety camp is just another way to spread the word.
I think this is one of the best things that we do.
For Edina 16, I'm Marty Dahl.
Along with putting on most of the safety presentation, Edina police officers and firefighters serve as group leaders at the day-long camp. Officials say this year, safety camp sold out in May, nearly 3 months in advance. Before we go, we want to highlight some of the many upcoming events in our community that you'll want to be sure and check out. City Hall will be closed Monday, September 6th in observance of Labor Day. The annual Fall Into the Arts Festival will be held Saturday, September 11th and Sunday, September 12th at Centennial Lakes Park. More than 125 artists from around the Midwest will display and sell their work at the 7th annual festival. The Edina Arts Center's 26th annual Members Juried Show opens September 30th. All media are included in the show, which runs through October 27th. Thanks for watching this month's episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.